Well, good evening, everybody. This is Yulia Houston, and today is Tuesday, February 4th, and I'm sitting in my office as always, ready to deliver our very, very last webinar of this school year. Once again, I have with me my helpers. I have Jason and Jiyun, who's going to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So the webinar, like always, will be somewhat short. Maybe I will speak for no more than 20 minutes because I really would like to leave plenty of time for your questions and answers. So let's begin. First of all, we need to talk about graduation requirements because this is really important for all the parents to remember that IMSA has pretty steep graduation requirements. Every single student, from the moment he or she is admitted, must graduate having completed 8 courses in science throughout all 3 years, 6 courses in math, additional 2 courses in math and science. And here I need to pause and say that since majority of our sophomores take computer science inquiry, so one of these 2 courses is already fulfilled with by taking that particular class. Every single IMSA student must take English every single semester, 5 history, social science courses, which means every single semester minus 1 semester during sophomore year. 2 years of world language, which means a student must finish world language at the level 2 or higher. 1 course in fine arts and 2 courses in wellness. So this is graduation requirements. So in other words, math every single semester, and English every single semester, and history every single semester starting junior year. Those are the 3 subject areas where students absolutely must be enrolled in a course every single semester, and the rest of them are just to fulfill the graduation requirements. And we're going to talk a little bit more when we get to each class. So this is mandatory courses for junior year. So first of all, every single student must be enrolled in 5 academic courses every single semester. And those 5 academic courses do not include wellness, fine arts, SIR, or internship of any sorts or any other endeavor that the student does on the side. As I already mentioned, student must be enrolled in 1 math every single semester, and then 1 science, because remember there are 8 courses the student needs to complete in 3 years. Then, in addition to that, we recommend that every single junior takes an additional math and science course. And then aside from that, 1 English per semester, 1 history per semester, and then clearly 4 language, because all of our juniors still continue with the 4 language that they either started or they're starting brand new 4 language if they finish the sequence. Wellness and fine arts are optional, and usually students add that in the fall if their schedule allows, or they ask for it in advance. So as I already mentioned before, every single student needs to complete 1 fine arts during junior and senior year if a student did not take it sophomore year, and then 1 wellness in addition to moving and learning. So that's the junior year schedule. Senior year schedule looks a little bit similar, although not quite. Once again, every single senior must be enrolled in 5 academic courses. Does not include wellness, fine arts, SIR, independent studies. So seniors will be invited to complete an independent study, to submit a proposal for an independent study, but independent study is not counted to those 5 course minimum. Neither does the any kind of an internship at INTU. So once again, 1 math every single semester, 1 history every single, 1 English every single semester, 1 history every single semester, and then the number of math and science courses that are needed for graduation at that point. So our senior year student schedule varies from student to student to student. And then again, if a student did not take wellness or fine arts during junior year, they must complete that to graduate. So the optional things at the bottom, as you can see, world languages. Although I don't know, I don't have the statistics in front of me, but my guess is about 80% of our seniors continue with the world language that they already had at IMSA, or they start a brand new world language, or they add a second world language. And then we have a number of students who do an independent study. I want to say no more than probably 20 seniors a year will complete an independent study, and then clearly SIR and internships. So that's a senior year. So now this is a really, really, really important slide for all parents to keep in mind. And I'm not going to read it back. But as you can see, and as if you remember, IMSA's courses don't have any special designations. So we really, really, really ask our students and ask our parents to support our students in taking courses they're passionate about. There's not a single college who's going to look at the student schedule and say, or the student transcript and say, well, I don't see any organic chemistry. How the student can possibly be a medical doctor? So colleges do not have any expectations for the coursework. They just would like for students to take courses that are progressing in sequences and then courses that students are passionate about. There's one exception to that rule, and the exception being some schools of engineering, like Purdue comes to mind. Some schools of engineering at state universities, but for instance, UVI or Urbana-Champaign does not fall into that category. But some schools at state universities require all applicants to have 1 year of chemistry. So all of our students take SI chemistry clearly as sophomores, which means they need to take 1 more semester of chemistry after that. It's never a problem for not a for any of our students, simply because our students take lots and lots of chemistry and physics and biology courses. But aside from that, really truly, a student should be taking courses that he or she is passionate about. Clearly, it makes sense for a student to take chemistry if a student is thinking about being a doctor, but not for the college admission purpose. It's only for one purpose, so the student will know what's going to happen in college. Because if you would like to become a doctor, obviously you will be required to take a number of chemistry courses or biology courses. And aside from that, like I said, there's really no other expectations except the expectations you have for yourself. So help your students choose courses they're looking forward to. Make sure that the schedule is challenging but not overwhelming, and make sure that the students are really truly committed to taking every single class. So when we get to the next slide, in a couple of slides here, we're going to talk about the course selection sheets that your student will bring home for the extended. So make sure that you really sit down and have a conversation with what kind of classes your student is thinking about taking. All right, so this picture of a 3-year course planning guide, it should be very, very familiar to parents who are parents of current juniors, and the parents of current sophomores are going to see this course planning guide after we meet with every single student and after we send it home for you to have it at your in your possession. This is not a set-in-stone plan, but we ask every single sophomore in December to start thinking about his or her academic career at IMSA. And we would like for each student to kind of have a bigger picture in mind, not just be preoccupied with which classes I'm going to take next year, but also which classes I would like to take as a senior. So this year, this 3-year course planning guide helps our students organize their schedules. However, like I said, it's not written in stone. We're not going to hold them accountable to it, but it allows for conversations to happen in our office, because starting February 18th, we're going to be meeting with every single current sophomore and every single current junior to look at their, to verify their course selections for next year and to enter them in PowerSchool. So when your student is home for the extended, and if your student is current sophomore student, please ask your student to show you the 3-year course planning guide. Every single student is required to bring it to us for the meeting, and then we're going to make a copy and send it to you. So you will eventually see it, but we would like for you to get a preview. Now, when thinking about and choosing classes, there will be several opportunities for students to do that here at school. We have a mini fair, and I'll talk more about that a little bit later. We're going to have a electives mini fair tomorrow. The students are going to be required to meet with their teachers. We are going to meet with the teachers. But for you parents, your first oh my goodness, all of a sudden forgot the word. Your guide, your first guide should be the course catalog. So this is just a screenshot of the CAC page on the IMSA website. And under course information and selection, the very first link is called Course Catalog. So please click on it after webinar is over, and you can read descriptions of every single class. So when your student comes home for the extended weekend, you can even discuss the content of each course and say, okay, I read this, so what does that mean? Or what are you thinking about taking? Let's read the description of that course. So it's a really, really good resource. Now, we have a few new courses that will be, that already are entered into the course catalog. And this year is kind of unusual. We have usually new courses in computer science and mathematics, but this year it's all humanities. So first of all, every single junior, rising junior, so the student who's going to be junior next year, will be required to take what is formerly known as Literary Explorations 3. And now, starting next fall, it's in the fall, that's a required course. In the fall, this course will be divided into three segments: American literature, British literature, and world literature. And your student will have a choice of enrolling just in one of those three courses. And then a standalone brand new English course is English authors and topics. And this course will be available to all juniors and seniors during second semester. We also have 5 new courses in history and social sciences, but the first 2 are only available will be to rising juniors. So this is rising juniors can take that during their second semester. And then the 3 courses, history, mathematics, research, and global history and modern conflicts, will be available to seniors. So the first 2 courses are for juniors and the 3 for seniors. And for the English, the first 3 courses are for juniors, and the second course is for both, either juniors and seniors. But you can read the description of our courses in the course catalog. All right, so this is the logistics of the whole entire course registration process. So the last week of January already happened. We met with juniors. Juniors met with their respective CACs. The meetings took place last Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And on Wednesday, we met with our sophomores in a big group setting where faculty joined us, and faculty representative from each academic team highlighted course offerings for next year. As I already mentioned, tomorrow, February 5th, from 2 until 4:30, we're going to have electives mini fairs in the old cafeteria. It's going to be set up. The old cafeteria will be set up just like the setup for the, let's say, college day, where there will be tables. Faculty will be standing behind tables. From 2 to 3 will be all humanities and fine arts. And from 3 to 4 will be math and science. And the students will have a chance to walk around and talk to teachers who teach particular courses, see what kind of materials are going to be used, talk about assessment, assignments. From 4 until 4:30, it will be an opportunity for students to learn about SIR, details about SIR. So from 2 until 4:30, that's elective mini fairs tomorrow. So then, after that, students will be talking to teachers, will be traveling home for the extended, talking to you, coming back and meeting with us between February 18th and the February 28th. And this is at which point every single student is going to meet with his or her CAC, and at which point we will verify their course registration sheet that I'm going to show you in a second, and then we're going to log their accounts in PowerSchool. So from that point on, our students will not be able to manipulate their course preferences. Scheduling at IMSA is done by a computer, not by a human being. And a computer usually does it in May or June after the school is over. And each student will be able to see the schedule roughly right around 4th of July, right around, for the next year. So that's how the course registration process works. So we ask every student to give us usually a couple choices for each discipline, and I'll show you in a second, and you know exactly what I mean. And every single student then is going to end up in the classes that they asked. So this is a junior year course preference sheet that if you are a parent of a sophomore, this piece of paper that you see in front of you is going to be blue. So when your student comes home, please look for that blue piece of paper, and it's called junior year course preference. And as you can see, there are some spots available on the right-hand side for teachers to sign, and we ask all of our juniors to have conversations with their math teachers, their science teachers, their foreign language teachers, and their music teachers about courses they need to take next year, because in those 4 disciplines, we require students to get the teachers' signatures. In other words, a student cannot arbitrarily choose a math course for next year. It needs to be done in concert with his current math teacher. So current sophomores will have conversations with their current teachers. So for instance, if they're thinking about, if let's say a sophomore is thinking about taking a chemistry elective, so sophomore should have a conversation, we'll have a conversation with the SI chemistry teacher, and an SI bio teacher, and an SI physics teacher. Now we also have half of our sophomores who are not enrolled in SI Bio and will be taking biology for the first time during their junior year. So for that, they do not have to have a signature. But otherwise, signatures are needed for any math course, any science course, any fine arts course, performing fine arts, and foreign language. So the color of this course registration, course preference sheet is blue, so please do look for it. And as you can see on the back of it, there's a sign for you to place for you to sign. We will not meet with students if they do not have your signatures, because we really want to make sure that you had a conversation with your child about courses for next year. Now, if you are a parent of a current junior, then your student is going to bring home with him or her a pink sheet. So blue for sophomores, for current sophomores, pink for current juniors. Now, this time, we only require signatures from math, foreign language, and performing fine arts. The science signatures are no longer needed. However, we still require our parents to sign the course preference sheet, and so therefore, please do it. So once again, blue for sophomores, pink for juniors. Please do ask your student at home for that sheet. I want to go a little quickly over add and drop process because I oftentimes get questions at the end of my presentation. So we do have an add and drop process in August, and it's only one day, and it's the very first I day in August. Now, since all seniors will be submitting secondary school reports, in other words, known as a senior year schedule to colleges, we want to make sure that students make changes, if they make changes, to both semesters, because colleges will be making evaluations and reviewing students' files based on the schedules that we're going to submit to colleges at the beginning of the school year. Now, this policy is in the student parent handbook, so again, I'm not going to read it back to you, but we do make changes to the student schedule, but the changes need to make sense to a student and us. So, for instance, if a student has a free mod and would like to add wellness or fine arts, by all means. If a student has a free mod and a class that is offered during that free mod fits academic class, by all means, we're going to give it to your student. If a student no longer is interested in the class, we can do that too. However, what's not going to happen in August, simply because we do not have enough time in the day, is to completely scratch the schedule and build it by hand. And the reason why we don't do that, because we make a point of giving students really truly a month of February to think about their courses, to have conversations with their teachers, to have conversations with you, and to approach their course selection process seriously. And the second reason why we really are not interested in rebuilding student schedules is, like, as I already said before, not a single college is going to penalize a single student for choosing modern physics over physics out and light. Nobody's going to hold course selection. Nobody's going to hold schedule against your students. So that's really, really important. So I think that's it. We'll come to the very last slide, and then we're going to take all the questions that you have. So this is what we really ask you to our students to do. So have meaningful conversations, and they must, with their current math and science teacher about math and science courses, because they need to get their signatures. So sophomores must get signatures in math and science, and juniors must get signatures only in mathematics. Make sure that they take courses they would like to take. Like I said, there is no penalty. And there's not a single class that colleges will be looking for, with an exception of 1 year of chemistry for Purdue University comes to mind, but there might be other state universities, colleges of engineering at other state universities require that. However, there's not a single student at IMSA that I know of that did not have a year of chemistry and was interested in the College of Engineering. So chemistry pretty much is a given. We also ask juniors to complete their wellness or fine arts, either one during junior year, not both, but just either one. And then seniors to consider continuing with the world language. And the reason for that is world language really shows versatility on the student's part. It shows dedication, tenacity, and it also separates students from each other. And it's also, if a student is interested in highly selective schools, world language pretty much is a given that you take all throughout your high school career. So we come to the point where I will take your questions, and then Jason will help me see them on my screen. He's going to walk over here and help me get my screen situated. And you're free to ask any questions, and then I will answer them. Thank you so much, Jason. Would you like to explain double up in math and science? Yes. Good question. So in one of the slides where I said that we ask all juniors to double up, that means take one math, so which every single student needs to take, then one science, which every single student needs to take, and then an additional math or science course. In other words, per semester, take either 2 maths and 1 science or 2 sciences and 1 math, meaning double up. And the reason for that is, well, first of all, they need to fulfill graduation requirements, but most importantly, we would like for the junior schedules to be full, so then colleges can make appropriate evaluations based on students' performance. So junior students should have as many grades as possible. So that's what double up means. I apologize for skipping it. Is there any other questions? Well, I'm going to wait a little bit just to make sure. I wanted to thank you once again for tuning in. Like I said, this is our very last webinar of the year, and I really, really appreciate your support of the work we do here. Okay, how many classes is full? I don't understand the question. If you can maybe rephrase it, I'll answer it again. Where is the course catalog on the website? So the course catalog is on the CAC website. So if you log on into the IMSA website, and on the right-hand side is going to say College and Academic Counseling. You just click there, and as I showed to you, let me show it to you again. The course catalog is the first link. So this is the College and Academic Counseling page, and the course catalog is the first link under course information and selection. That's where you will find it. 6 classes semester or 7 classes semester is full. Like I said, I don't understand what you mean by full, but every single student must take 5 academic courses, minimum of 5 academic courses per semester. And that number 5 does not include wellness or fine arts or SIR or independent study or internship or anything like that. We do have 8 mods in a day, but some mods are double mods for sciences. So a typical student schedule includes 6 academic courses. That will be a typical junior schedule. So it will be 1 math, 2 sciences, let's say English, history, foreign language. That will be a typical junior schedule. Would you please share the slides you presented today? Well, we already went over it. I will post it tomorrow, so you'll be able to see the whole entire webinar. If there's a particular slide you would like for me to show again, I'll be more than happy to do it. Let me know which one. Is there an opportunity for parents to discuss the selection with the CAC, or do you just have discussions with the students only? We do not have a formal meeting with parents. So let me just go over it again. So the course selection process is composed of 3 parts. Students must talk to their teachers, to their current teachers, to choose classes for next year, because nobody knows them better than their teachers, and nobody's in any better position to advise which classes to take than their teachers, because they've seen them in action. Number 2, students are going to meet with us for individual course selection meetings where we'll talk again about their courses. And in between, they're going to go home and talk to you about the classes they would like to take, and bring either a blue sheet for sophomores or a pink sheet for juniors, where they will list the classes they would like to take. So it's three different conversations that take place. If you have any questions to your students' CAC about your students' classes, by all means, do reach out to your students' CAC. But we do not have a formal meeting that allows us to meet with our parents. Will students get all the classes they decide to take, or there are some limitations on number of students? So that's a very good question. So there will not be an instance when a student will be placed in a class he or she did not request. That just never, ever happens. And the reason why it doesn't happen, because remember, as I mentioned before, for every single class, we ask students to give us 2 choices. And a couple of times in a couple of slides, you saw that statement something like, they make sure that the student is committed to take an alternate choice. Yes, and that's what we ask students to do. So every single student is going to give us two choices for science electives, two choices for literature, English, history, and a student will end up in one of those two classes. There's never an instance when a student is in a class, is enrolled in a class where a student did not ask for that class at all. Any requirements for world languages at the length of the year, 2 years or 4 years in high school? So there's really, there are no requirements for a language, the one that I mentioned to you with the College of Engineering, let's say for chemistry. However, selective colleges would like to see a student take a foreign language all throughout the high school career. It's not a requirement. They would like to see that. Majority of our students, like I said, 85% probably, are enrolled in a foreign language all 3 years, so it's not a problem for our students at all. If my kid is taking 5 academic classes this semester in her junior year, is it okay? It's okay. It's a little bit unusual. Like I said, a typical junior schedule has 6 academic classes. Does not include wellness or fine arts, but that's okay, because then that means next year when your student is a senior, then your student needs to take 6 classes at some point during the semester. Let me see if there's any other questions. I will post this webinar hopefully tomorrow. If not, then on Thursday, and I will send an email quickly to all parents. Will be able to see it on the CAC website. Let's see if there's any more questions. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Like I said, we really thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support you provide to me and my colleagues, for supporting the work we do here at IMSA. If you're a parent of a junior right now, make sure that you schedule your family college conference with your students, CAC. And I will look forward to seeing you at the College Day on April 25th. And thank you so much for all of your support. We cannot do it without you. And good night. Thank you.